So you take 2,400 watts divided by the voltage and you get your current. And with these figures, at full power, this thing should be pushing about 200 amps through my PV cable. And what size PV cable do I use? Here, I'll show you. Got some really good sun right now on this 2,400 watt array, and I'm pushing that power into the garage over 130 feet of cable buried here. Comes up here into this very thin 10 AWG solar PV feeder cable line. You'd think that's a lot of power to go through a small little cable like this, right? Well, let's take a look and see how much current is actually going through this cable. This cable is rated for up to 30 amps. And as you can see, right around 20, and it is bright hot sun right now. Well within specs. How about that, huh? Making voltage instead of current. Alright, now let's take a look at wire loss efficiency using a wire loss calculator that you can find online. Alright, so you put the voltage in here, 91. The power was about 1750. And you calculate that in current. Yeah, that's about right. Now, let's say my voltage was lower voltage here. Let's say about 18. That's about the voltage parameters there. And 1750 per watts. Yeah, that's 97 amps. Okay. Now, let's go over here to wire loss, wire drop calculator. And I'm using 10 AWG. Voltage is, what was it, 90? Single set of conductors. Whoop. DC. And the distance is about 100, let's say 125 feet. And that current was about, what was it, 19? Calculate. Yeah, about 5.27%. Losing a little bit of voltage on there, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. Anything below 5% is usually pretty good. Okay. Alright, now let's take a look at if I was using lower voltage, 18, and I don't know what the amps would be. I forget, I looked at it was like 97 or something like that, 95 amps. It says it's unlikely that wire can support 95 amps current. Okay, so let's put a 1-aught gauge in there and see if that will work. It's like 13%. How about that? But I'd have to use 1-aught cable at a long distance, and that ain't gonna happen. Let's go to 2-aught cable. That's the same size I use on my batteries. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But that's low voltage, and you're running a lot of current through there. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Okay, since it was really hot out, this is a little bit more realistic numbers for my voltage drop on that long PV feeder cable run. It's still less than 5% loss, as you can see. So, I make volts, and it looks to me that is a more efficient way of getting power from this array. I use it on all my arrays, into the garage with a long PV feeder cable line. I did a video like this earlier, but this one's a little bit more detailed, and I can actually use this clamp meter, ammeter, to show you exactly what the current is in the PV feeder cable line. Alright, hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate you taking the time to take a look at this data, and we'll see you next time. The voltage is about 93 volts. Power is about 1750 or so, and it's pushing about almost 66 amps down into the battery bank.